What do you guys think about this? Do you guys have an exit strategy for this bull market? If you do sell, what are you going to do with the cash?
Okay, so I have a couple of things that I plan to do. So I have so I borrowed a little bit of money to buy Bitcoin in the past. I want to pay that
Nice.
back. I'm just gonna keep letting it go until whenever I can pay it back. I'm in no rush to pay it back, but I'm not gonna sell my Bitcoin. I'm going to sell the things that I'm trading. So let's say, for example, I'm trading some MSTR options. If those options go crazy and there's a blow off top, then I'll sell some of those options, pay off the debt, because after that blow off top, it's very likely that we're going to see a bear market. I mean, I don't know if it'll happen or not, but to me, it's more like um, I was, instead of dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin, I was able to buy a lump sum in the past, and I'm dollar cost averaging back into that debt, and I'm paying it off over time. And I think to me, it's worth it. I'm I'm of the belief that Bitcoin is going to go absolutely nuts. It's going to beat any interest rate that you can get, even on a credit card. I mean, I still wouldn't recommend borrowing money on a credit card to buy Bitcoin, but I think Bitcoin will massively exceed 20%. So to me, if it does go insane, like let's say, for example, Bitcoin does go to like $2 million or $1 million or something, and those options are worth a lot more than whatever they're worth today, I'd want to buy more Bitcoin, if anything. Right? If there is a bear market and Bitcoin drops 80%, I'd want to buy more Bitcoin, or I'd want to maybe pay off my mortgage or something.
Mm-hmm. I think for me, my exit strategy, I go back and forth with this all the time. I kind of planned on, if let's say Bitcoin got to $200,000 in USD terms, I was going to sell like 2% of my stack, put it in USDT, because I live on my Bitcoin, right? So, but the other thing too is that I kind of thought of is like I get paid mostly in fiat, and so even if Bitcoin went from 200 down to 100 again, I'm still getting the same amount of fiat. That hasn't changed. I'm still going to be able to pay my bills. I'll just be able to buy more sats with anything that I have left over. So in that situation, like I don't really see a need to exit. Like I think that we're so far away from the top in terms of, something where I would sell some to buy something like a new boat or a new quad or a side by side, something like that. I'm going to wait till the price is much higher before I exit Bitcoin to buy something like that. We're so far away from that now. And I think that, where we are right now, I think it'd be stupid to cash out and buy something else right now. So I don't really plan on doing anything, honestly. I'm just going to keep holding, keep taking the fiat that I make, buying Bitcoin. And when the price is down, I'm going to be able to buy more sats for the exchange rate there. So I don't really have an exit strategy for this cycle right now.
Yeah, for me, I have a couple levered positions. I have some IBIT calls, some leaps. If Bitcoin went parabolic, those are going to be worth a lot of money, and I would exit out of the leverage and into spot potentially. I rent. I love renting, but it might make sense to buy a house. Like, there's these two. Like, again, you're determining these two markets. So, like, if Bitcoin rips up and the housing continues to go down, which it is, then it might make sense to rotate some of that into a home, not as an investment, but as like my own home.
A lifestyle choice.
Yeah, lifestyle choice, exactly.
I like that.
Which I'm still, on the fence with, right? So it would have to be the right place, it would have to be the right timing, all of that. But yeah.
I think the important thing is that you understand that it's a lifestyle choice, right? You understand that, oh, this thing is going to decrease in value over time. And sure, I'm sure, Jory, you also understand that with the boat that you were saying. What was it, side by side?
Side by side, yeah.
Right. I
Yep.
mean, we understand that, right? We understand that the price of things is going to decrease. But then I feel like it's important to also figure out the balance. Like we spoke about in the last couple of live sessions. We talked about the balance between um, spending today and saving for the future. I think that's the key. I think that's essentially what all three of us talked about there. We talked about how we're going to balance our future with the present, because we all know that if Bitcoin does have a blow off top this time, at some point, whatever that blow off top is, even if it's $1 million, at some point that $1 million is going to be a rounding error.
Yep.
Right.
Exactly.
And we all understand that. That's the main thing that I think that's the main takeaway here. Still enjoy your life, but also live like you know that Bitcoin is going to go much, much higher from where it is today.
And this kind of goes back to that moving average line that you have. Like,
yeah,
if you're in spot, you can weather the dips knowing that over time it's going up and to the right, and there's not really a time where you're down on your position. If you're measuring by that moving average, if you're getting rid of the volatility, the short-term volatility. And then, so the other parts of my position is like, I would sell covered calls, which is a way of shorting the short-term volatility, and hedging up some of the downside of that. So I would continue making capital off of that, which would be fine. And then, just hold a lot of spot, which I wouldn't sell. Like timing, like I think of this scenario, right? If somebody's trying to time the market, even with a blow off top, you're selling Bitcoin, you're not timing it perfectly.
Yeah.
There's capital gains, and then you're waiting how long, and that entire time you're waiting, oh, should I get in? Is it right? Is it time? Like, it's so stressful to just potentially buy in lower and make that, the gain of the difference, but it's so stressful. And again, the moving average is up and to the right. So just for me, my spot Bitcoin is what I'm allowing to be my least stressful position of my portfolio. The little leverage in IBIT that I have, some MSTR I sell covered calls on, that I can have a little bit of attention focus to. Again, not in a super stressful way, but if I sold my core holdings thinking it's a blow off top and that it's going to go down, I'd be so stressed, waiting those months and months of when I think the bottom
could you
is.
imagine?
And then missing it, and then oh
Yeah.
my god, just so much risk with that. Like, it's just so crazy to think that the average person could do that. Like, most people are going to screw that up, and I think that I probably would to some degree as well. And factoring in all the work, the capital gains, the stress, I just don't think it's worth doing.
Yeah, people are trying to take shortcuts. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And there are no shortcuts in Bitcoin. Brian says the Bitcoin is for your grandchildren, not toys. That's a nice picture. It looks like it's Trudeau getting punched in the face. But on this note, like I'm guessing Brian's talking about me wanting to buy quads and boats and side by sides. I agree with you, Brian. I'm not talking about dropping like 80% of my Bitcoin to go buy side by side. That's just not who I am, and it never will be. I'm talking about like figuring out what it is that I want, because I think we also need to realize that we're only here for a short time. And yes, it's good to leave a percentage to our grandchildren. That's what we're all wanting to do here. But if you think about if you're any, like my age, my grandchildren, they're going to be able to go down to the store to fill up their tank of gas with 20 sats. That's going to get them a tank of gas at that point. That's, when you're looking that far out ahead. So do they need what I have now? No, they probably only need like 10% of what I have now. So I'm going to have no shame spending some Bitcoin to enjoy my life, whether it's like a side-by-side or a vacation somewhere or whatever that may be. I have zero issues with that. That's what we're here for, right? Like, obviously you don't want to be stupid with it, but like you definitely have to find a balance between delaying your gratification and actually capturing some of that gratification for the work that you've added and the value that you've added to the world to enjoy yourself, because we're not here for very long. So I know what you're saying. I do plan on keeping like 50, 60, 70%, passing that on forever, but I want to enjoy a little bit of my Bitcoin. Like, otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. Why would you just want to stare at a screen all day? And like, what are people planning on doing? Living in like cardboard boxes
Exactly.
while they pass their Bitcoin on to their kids? No, you can't do that. You have to live your life as well. I think that's the point of October. That's the point of Bitcoin going crazy, right? That's the point of your purchasing power increasing. It's a built-in mechanism to get people to redistribute their holdings, right? If you're in this early, you probably own way more Bitcoin than people will own in 10 years, right? So if you're not redistributing your Bitcoin, then how are more people going to be able to enjoy the delayed gratification that comes with owning Bitcoin? That money, that Bitcoin in and of itself doesn't do anything for you. It's just a number on a screen.
Exactly. I would say buying Bitcoin in 2025 isn't so you can have as many units as you can. It's so that you can buy time and freedom in the future. That's really what it is. So maybe your kids and their kids might have to work half of what you did. That's how I see it. Is nobody wants things like, yeah, they're cool. Like, even if I got a side-by-side, for example, like, it'd be useful, it'd be handy, it'd probably improve my life a little bit, but I'm not going to be happier because of it. But if I had, 2 hours more per day with with Arnie or my kids in the future, then that's something I think that makes a difference. And that's kind of what I'm striving for, is just having to work a little bit less, like grinding now, so I can work a little bit less at some point in the future. Not when I'm 65 or 70 though. I'm talking like in the next 5 or 10 years. That's my goal anyways from now.
But I feel like even if we do have that opportunity, the way that you are, like I see you guys posting your videos every single day. I see you guys doing your work, doing what you need to. I feel like even then, if we have the opportunity, it's not like we're gonna stop working. We're
Exactly.
probably all going to continue to work. Like I plan to make videos on this channel for as long as I live. Right? If I can, why not?
Yeah, it's like you guys know who Linus Torvalds is? He's
No.
he's the creator of the Linux operating system. That you can look up at his GitHub, and it's like he has so many commits. It's like hundreds. It's just he's just
What's a commit?
coding. So he's changing code, like he's adding code and committing it to a project.
Oh,
Even
And
now.
then, yeah, even now. So
Wow.
he's he created Linux a long time ago. He could just be chilling on all sorts of different stuff that he's done, but he's just absolutely a machine for coding. And it's like, clearly that's something he loves to do. He's obsessed with it. Like, and so the idea here is that, as George said, Bitcoin is freedom in the future, right? If you have Bitcoin now, you can decide how to use that in the future, and you have more purchasing power. And maybe that means more time off to relax and to not work. Or maybe it just means that you can work on things that you want to do, and that you're not forced to make only videos about how you can retire on this much Bitcoin and one subject that gets a bunch of views, and you're just only focused on trying to get views. Instead, you can spend some time on something, some research on a specific topic about it that you enjoy, and make content about it. You're not so, like, when you're in a situation where you don't have savings and money and ability to protect yourself with that wealth, you are forced into decisions that you might not want to do. And a lot of people are like that, right? When you wake up at 6 a.m. and you go to your job, it's not because you want to do it, probably. It's probably because you're forced to do it. And it's like this underlying pressure from all your expenses and everything. So if you alleviate that, you can decide more of what you want to do. And that's the power of Bitcoin, in my opinion.
that's a freedom.
Yeah.
What are you guys going to do in 5 or 10 years from now? Rajat said he's making videos till he dies. Rajat,
Well,
people are
I'm like not daily. I mean, I'm planning to make videos here and there, right? Like whenever I can. If I have a new idea that I think about, I want to make a video about it. I find it
I
so
can't
fun. I
wait to
actually find
see.
it fun to make videos.
Imagine in 20 years from now, Rajat, you'll be making a video and you'll be able to look back to 2024 as like a reminder.
Every single
That'd be
video that I
pretty
make at that point is going to be a reaction of my own videos.
Yeah. Reacting to myself here 20 years ago. Like for me, I feel like if Bitcoin got to a point where I no longer needed to work anymore, obviously I'd still want to do this. Like this is what I love doing. I wouldn't be doing it right now if I didn't love doing it. But I think my plan here is with the property we have, I want to start harvesting some of these trees. So that's kind of my retirement plan. I don't have a plan to like sit on the beach or sit on the couch and watch Netflix all day or something like that. Like I want to be out there, cutting wood, chopping wood, packaging it, selling it, preserving it, and selling it to Bitcoiners. That's kind of my end goal here with this whole thing. So that's like my version of retirement, is something like that. It's not sitting around relaxing and doing nothing. It's just less screen time, less LED lights, and being outside more and hanging out with Arnie a little bit more. So what do you guys have planned for 5 or 10 years from now when you're going to be able to retire?
I think funding other creatives is something that I really want to do.
That's cool.
I've done this a little bit, right? Like there's these projects, there's these people that are so creative, and they can bring ideas into the world that that I can't individually do. It takes other people to do, their expertise and such. And I think that's how I want to spend my time, is helping others create things in the world. Travel. I love traveling. I would travel a lot.
Yeah, me too.
And yeah, I would definitely continue to make videos about Bitcoin, as it's completely 100% my passion. And I would probably also focus on some of these, like, I think what I'm talking about, funding projects, it would probably be around documentary film stuff, which is part of my past.
Telling stories.
Yeah, and something that I've had to move away from because it's not profitable. Like it's really hard to make money
Right.
from that stuff.
Right.
I did it for 8 years and like I have passive income and royalties from it, but man, it was like struggling to make a decent living from it. It's very difficult. So to take away that financial aspect of it and actually be able to make the projects I want to make without thinking, oh, is this going to make money? That would be a huge freedom.
Yeah.
So I think part of my future goes back to what I did before this, actually, which is making films.
Josh says that he's gonna train to be a Pokemon master.
Whew, that's good. I like
I
that
like that.
too.
What are you going to do, Rajat?
I feel like I'd want to travel. I feel like I'd want to go to live in different countries, maybe
Yeah.
like live somewhere
A
in Asia. I
nomad.
feel like I've gone to Asia and I really like it. I like Japan. I like Thailand. I went to India. I want to go to other places in Asia. I'd want to try going to different places in Europe, even though it seems like it's getting crazier and crazier there. Um, yeah, I feel like I'd want to travel. I feel like I'd want to experience different types of lifestyles. And I like what you said there, Forrest. Funding creatives,
Mhm.
funding people, helping them to build something of their own, so that they don't have. Because a lot of people are very creative and they're stuck working a job because they have to,
Yep.
Yeah.
right? And they're forced to. They have no other choice because that's just how the system is designed, right? I would love to go to South America. I went to Argentina last year, late last year. It was great. I loved it. I think that's experiencing other people's lifestyles is so much fun.
Yeah,
It
it's
gives
a
you
lot
more
of fun.
perspective. Like a lot of people, I see a lot of people talking just complete shit about India, but they haven't been there, right? Like they haven't been to South India, for example. They haven't been to Kerala, right? If you go to Kerala, it seems like a completely different country. It's not even. It's not even. It's one. It's a completely different lifestyle, and people wouldn't even understand it,
Yeah, you have
You
to
right?
go
you just
there.
went there for the first time last summer, right? Or when was that? Last
This
winter?
this year. So it was February to March this
February.
year. It was amazing. It was it's like I said, it's better. I would say it's even better than being in North America,
Hmm.
right? But I haven't been there for a very long time. I was only there for like a week, but and I was living in I was staying in like a luxury hotel because it wasn't that expensive. But I think going to these places is so important because it teaches you, oh, this is how the rest of the world works. When you drive through like rural India, you see people working on farms for like 16 hours a day, earning just a few dollars in the entire day, right?
Mhm.
And we're able to make these videos to make money. To me, that's crazy, right? It just makes me appreciate what I have a lot more. And I feel like I want more of that. I want more of that. And I want to help other people in other countries to do what they can to maybe change their lives, right? Like, let's say, for example, if you could struggle, or if you could help somebody to you can give them a camera or a
Mhm.
cell phone and they can make their own videos. That's exactly like what you said there, Forrest. Why wouldn't you, right? Over time, the cost of an iPhone is decreasing in terms of Bitcoin, and you can literally buy thousands of iPhones and distribute them to people so that they can change their lives. They have access to the internet now.
Yeah. It's like you wanna be like, uh, Johnny Appleseed, but with sats, right? You're just traveling around dropping sats where they
Yeah,
need to be, right? Like,
yeah,
I think that's the way to go, right? Like, just like I do think that like what we're doing here right now is very meaningful as well. Like we are
yeah,
creating content, inspiring other people to understand sound money and Bitcoin and to free themselves, right? And it takes time to free yourself. It's not a magic bullet. You don't just buy Bitcoin and immediately you get to quit your job, right? It's going to take some time. It's going to take building, but I think like this is legitimately how I feel is like I think the content we make actually really helps people. But I think that with more capital, more freedom, more ability of each one of us, there's other ways that we could do that too, which I think
yeah,
would be really impactful. And I think it would, yeah, travel around and just fund projects and drop sats on it and, make a meaningful difference in that local community. I mean, even just going like what you're saying, like going to India, right? Like if you go to India and you convince somebody to accept sats, that could change their whole life. Like that amount of that you bought something from them, they now have a few thousand of sats or whatever, and Bitcoin continues to rip up. Like that could make a huge meaningful difference and probably change their perspective on Bitcoin and make them start to acquire it as well. Like that could be
Yeah.
huge.
100%. And if you could just, even if we could just go around like teaching people personal finance, I feel like doing like keynotes and speaking would be really cool. I feel like doing that would be a really great use of time. You could teach people about anything, right? You could teach people about Bitcoin. You could teach them about personal finance. You could teach them just how to improve their lives in general. Like we all know certain things that maybe other people don't understand, and we can teach all of that.